How are we going, everyone? We're in front of our Espalier citrus trees. A few days ago, I started talking about citrus leaf miner because it was affecting a lot of citrus trees all over the country. In fact, Victoria this time of the year, very prevalent, causes a lot of damage on the new growth. If you haven't noticed it yet on your tree and you think it's looking a little bit deformed, it's probably citrus leaf miner. It affects the new growth. I actually sprayed this as a preventative. Well, it was infected already, but now as another shield of armor because that's what it needs. And I've used our CGWS Citrus Guard White Spray or Citrus Gall Wasp Spray, which is designed for a couple of things: heat stress and protection against pests like citrus gall wasp and leaf miner. Now, this was sprayed. You can see the white film on it. I did put it on pretty heavy in some spots. Obviously, I didn't do a proper spray because I missed some of the outer areas here. But in saying that, this is old growth here. Look up here. We've got all this new growth that's come on since then. It's been about 4 days or so, not even, probably. That's all new growth. Now, it's impossible that this was here already. I'm betting it wasn't, and if that's why it hasn't got any spray on it. Now, this one in particular, yes, no spray, because you can see, look, there's white film all over the frame here, or the metal frame, across the top as well, you can see, sprayed. But here, no spray, nothing at all. We're dropping a little bit of leaf here. That's got leaf miner on it already as well. So the new growth is already coming on, and that's going to get affected, folks. So what's the message here? If you sprayed your tree with CGWS, it's going to encourage it to grow. It's what it'll do the next day, and that's what's happened here all over the place. In fact, we've got growth on this one here. So come outside or go outside. Don't come outside to my place because you're not here, but go outside in your place, front yard, backyard, nature strip. Check your citrus trees if they do get infected, and if you have sprayed them, look for new growth on them like this here. And then maybe give it a couple of, I'd say another week, but just monitor it carefully because some of the larger leaves may get infected. And we're talking about citrus leaf miner again, folks, because as small as they are here at this stage, they're still susceptible to burning, I suppose, with sprays. Now, the spray isn't anything toxic that's going to cause, something serious on it, but my concern is that by spraying it on while it's still so young, they may cause it to fall off or drop a few leaves. So give it a few days for them to establish and then reapply it. Now, the actual topic was espalier work, because a lot of people asked, how do you espalier a fruit tree or citrus tree? It's a flat fan shape, folks. It's not a formal espalier. It's an informal, which means you have a wire mesh or a backdrop where you can clip your plant onto. And in this case here, recently, I'm using our plant ties, this little unit here. I'm sure all of you have seen it before. It's the quick and easy way of actually clipping or tying back your branches to the framework. Let's say I want to tie it here, for example. I do that, tie it down, and it's there. Now, that's the method of tying down. What the aim is to create a nice open, flat surface with very little or no overlapping of branches. Okay, whatever. All right, hunting, here they come. Here we go, here we go. They're on. Get out of here before I tape you up. Okay, so what we want to do is avoid the overlapping, and what I've done here is got a young plant. Let's just follow the framework. This is the easiest way for you to be able to understand it. It's not about me demonstrating it only, it's actually seeing the finished results so you can analyze. You can play this back a few times if you want, folks. Trunk forks out into 2, and then from there it forks out into 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we have a little spurs that come up from there. These you don't want to grow too long. You've got your main structural branching that's going out. There's another one, there's another one. There's a little one coming up there. That's going to be a short one. There's another one coming straight up, and here we're fanning out again. Now, it's getting a bit congested in this space here. Look at this here. That's okay if you're going to get fruit off that, but if you don't know if you're going to get fruit, if it keeps growing out, you're better off cutting it off. It's a bit congested, so I'm probably better off cutting one of these off. I've got too many in here, so if I just cut that one there off, let's get rid of that. That's going to be nice and flat there. We had fruit developing here, didn't eventuate. That's going to stay there. We can tie this right to there. So let's just get that now and tied to there. So that's clipped on there. And the same we go through the rest of it. See here now it's starting to get close to the top. I don't need this tree to start to developing long, strong, structural branches. Otherwise, we're going to grow way over the top. So the aim is now for it to stay short and stumpy like this. We've got maybe one too many in here. See the 2 in the background there? They're really no good. I mean, they're good, but they're no good. They're small, they're insignificant. let's cut them off completely like that. So we aerate that. Now we've got that feature going on. I've got another one on the other side. That's okay. This is this side. 1, 2, 3 there, like that there. So we can leave this flat like that, and that should create enough foliage across the top, and that's where we're going to be constantly cutting back and thinning it out as a tree constantly wants to push on new growth. Now, citrus trees aren't the best specimen for espaliering, and I mean there's two types of espalier work. We're talking formal and informal. This is more informal. Well, this is informal. Means it's a fan shape. You've got a framework on the background. I've done horizontal or formal espalier work on citrus. In fact, at our store in Coburg, I've got an orange there and a lemon, if I remember correctly, that are both trained over the last 7 to 10 years, beautifully shaped, and eventually after 8 or 9 years, they started producing fruit, but far few in between, because it needed a lot of pruning. And with the horizontal formal, you're constantly pruning and you're causing the trees to go back into growth spurt. So you're not going to get that flowering cycle. Whereas here, we've got long branches, and we've got all these little short ones coming out. See, like that there? They could stay there for 6 months, as long as it doesn't keep growing. And the same with other branches, like in here, all these little ones in between, they will stay there. Come over here, have a look at the orange. This is one that I haven't worked on as much, but now we're getting clusters of everywhere. So all this really should come out because the fruit is already here. See the fruit there? It's everywhere. So wherever I don't have fruit, these needs to be clip back down flat like that, no overlapping, create a beautiful vein of structural integrity. So the branching is like the vein network, the main arteries, and then from there you get all the small branches coming off that. So this is what will happen with your citrus, with espalier work, and they need to be pruned regularly or as often as possible without affecting the quality and the quantity of fruit. Is that it? Did you get all that? You sure? If you don't know what I'm talking about, either change channels or go back and play it again and maybe play it slower. I know sometimes I talk a little bit of gibber there, but the aim is to keep a nice flat, no overlapping, no disease, sprays and regular fertilising. I recommend you feed your citrus trees every 3 months, no harm at all. In fact, tomorrow morning's segment's going to be a real quick one on 2 grapefruit trees in pots. One has been fed with superfood and black grit and the other one with none. And we'll see the results. In the meantime, check out our website, vasiliesgarden.com. We've got both locations available, Coburg and Lethbridge, for pickups. Save yourself a bundle on postage. Sorry for the folks in other states or other countries. We're working on it. We'll get there slowly, but in the meantime, you can get whatever you like at the one website, vasiliesgarden.com. From me, Vasili Baresi.